Good morning. I call to order the February 5th, 2019 meeting of the Saline County Board of Commissioners. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Commissioner Shadwick.
Here.
Commissioner Sparks.
Here.
Commissioner Vidrickson.
Here.
Commissioner Weiss.
Here.
Commissioner White.
Here.
I ask that you please stand and join me in a flag salute followed by a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We now move to the public forum portion of our meeting today, where citizens may speak on county government, items that are not on today's agenda, and it's usually limited to 3 minutes.
Norman Mandelstein, I see the weed department manager. How much of a problem is this poisonous water hemlock in Saline County? I see a lot of it alongside the roads.
Well, Norman, we're not going to address you can go over to the Road and Bridge and speak with him if you'd like to at his department, but this is a public forum where you may address things with us, but it's not a question and answers portion of it.
Okay, then I'll address it to the commissioners. You need to be made aware of it because that's a poisonous weed and it's all along the roads.
Point well taken. Thank you. Anyone else? Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Becky LaPolice, and I'm the Executive Director for the American Red Cross. And I just have an announcement that I would like to share with the commissioners. Now, I have a portion to read. So, the American Red Cross is transforming its operations to meet the growing demand of our core mission services: disaster preparedness, response and recovery, a safe blood supply for patients in need, life-saving health and safety training, vital emergency communications and services for the military, their families, and veterans, in support of the international mission by reinvesting dollars otherwise spent on building maintenance and overhead. To that end, our chapter is consolidating humanitarian and biomedical services into one facility in Salina. The building at 145 South Broadway Boulevard is in the process of being sold, and all operations will be centrally located at the Blood Donation Center at 120 West Prescott. As stated in our mission, the American Red Cross prevents and alleviates human suffering in the face of emergencies by mobilizing the power of volunteers and the generosity of donors. We want to reassure the city of Salina, the residents of Saline County, and the outlying 59 counties of which Central and Kansas serves, that we will continue to deliver Red Cross services and programs and remain committed to the mission and being the best stewards of our donor dollars. Following this meeting, I'll be issuing a press release to alert the media as well as the residents that we will be moving our physical location in Salina.
All right. Well, thank you very much for the update.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Seeing none, I'll bring it back to the commission for regular business. Item number 1.
Approve agenda for public forum as presented.
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve the agenda for the public forum as presented.
Second, the motion.
Been moved and seconded that we approve today's agenda for the public forum. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 2.
Approval of county commission minutes for January 15th, 2019.
Mr. Chairman, I move we accept the county commission minutes of January 15th, 2019 as presented.
Second, the motion.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept the county commission minutes of January the 15th, 2019. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 3.
Teen Dating Violence Awareness Proclamation. Courtney Train, Youth Advocate, Mentor, DVAC.
Good morning, Courtney.
Hello, good morning, Commissioners. This is really exciting for me because I work personally with teenagers at DVAC, and so with Teen Dating Violence Month, I'm like, hey, kids, pay attention, let's talk. And several of them are in abusive relationships, but the kids I also work with might also have witnessed domestic violence or experienced other abuse. So if you know young people, tell them to come to me. Okay, so whereas females between the ages of 16 to 24 are more vulnerable to intimate partner violence, experiencing abuse at a rate almost triple the national average, and whereas 1 in 3 adolescent girls in the United States is a victim of physical, emotional, verbal, or digital abuse from a dating partner, a figure that far exceeds victimization rates for other types of violence affecting youth. And while these statistics are primarily for girls, boys are also being victimized by dating violence as well. High school students who experience physical violence in a dating relationship are more likely to use drugs and alcohol, are at a greater risk of suicide, and are much more likely to carry patterns of abuse into future relationships. Young people victimized by a dating partner are more likely to engage in risky sexual behavior and unhealthy dieting behaviors, and the experience may disrupt normal development skills of self-esteem and body image. Nearly half of teens who experience dating violence report that incidents of abuse took place in a school building or on school grounds. Now, the problem is only 33% of teens who are in abusive relationships ever tell anyone about the abuse, and just 81% of parents surveyed either believe that teen dating violence is not an issue or they admit that they don't know if it's an issue. So by providing young people with education about healthy relationships and relationship skills, and by changing attitudes that support violence, we recognize that dating violence can be prevented. It's essential to raise community awareness and to provide training for teachers, counselors, and school staff so that they may recognize when youth are exhibiting signs of dating violence. The establishment of Dating Violence Prevention and Awareness Month benefits young people, their families, schools, and communities, regardless of class, gender, sexual orientation, or ethnicity. Everyone has the right to a safe and healthy relationship and to be free from abuse. The Domestic Violence Association of Central Kansas needs all of Saline County to work toward ending teen dating violence by empowering young people to develop healthier relationships, assisting victims in assessing the information and supportive services they need, creating better and more resources for young people in need, instituting effective prevention and prevention policies in schools, and engaging in discussion with family members and peers to promote awareness and prevention of the quiet epidemic of teen dating violence. Now, therefore, we as Commissioners of Saline County hereby proclaim February 2019 as Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month and urge citizens to recognize and assist all those that serve the rights and needs of victims of teen dating violence.
Thank you, Courtney. Do you have any activities
Yeah.
scheduled for this event?
Yeah, so the biggest one this month is not this Friday, but next Friday. I'm hosting a community lunch and learn, so from 12 to 1 p.m. at the Saline Public Library on February 15th. Youth, parents, community members are welcome to come. It's conferences, so kids should be out of school. And just learn a little bit more about teen dating violence, the warning signs, how to address it if your kid might be abusive or might be victimized. And we'll have fun videos, activities, so I'm trying to make it cool. We'll see how it goes. And on the back of the sheet I gave you all, it lists some other activities that we're doing as well. That's the big one, though.
All right, thank you. Are there
Thank you
any
so much.
questions or comments from the commissioners? Seeing none, I do have a signed proclamation for you, if you want to
Awesome.
come get that. Thank you for your hard work.
Yeah, thank you all.
Thank you.
Okay,
Courtney.
thanks so much. We'll move on to item number 4.
2019 Annual Noxious Weed Management Plan. David Flaherty, number 2, Weed Supervisor, Livestock and Expo.
Good morning, David.
This morning, I'm going to tell you about the annual noxious weed management plan. It's a management deal I have to turn into the state once a year. It is a lot of estimates, so there are going to be numbers in here that are not going to match and different things like that. But noxious weeds and control of the county land. I know in 2019 we're going to have an estimated of a minimum of 6 acres. Treatment methods are 2,4-D picloram, which is a Tordon 22K. A lot of spray times is between March and April with the 2,4-D, and then the picloram. We try to use that a lot during the fall. It sets in the ground a little bit longer. Bindweed, we have an estimated acres of 120 acres. Treatment methods are 2,4-D, 2,4-D and dicamba, 2,4-D and picloram. Johnson grass, we have an estimated of 55 acres there. Treatment methods for that is glyphosate, which is kind of a Roundup, and then plateau. Inside the city there, we have an estimated 2 acres. Treatment methods are basically the same as far as what we're going to use out in the county. Bindweed estimated acres are 21 acres We know we're gonna have to deal with a minimum of 21 acres, but there is quite a bit more out there. Johnson grass, 4 acres in the city. Private lands, we've estimated acres, 5,300 acres, and treatment methods are still the same. We do get people that come in and they sign up to have aerial sprays done, which they purchase the chemical through us, and then another company comes in and sprays them. Bindweed on private lands, just like around your houses, your other fields and stuff like that, 7,900 acres. Johnson grass, 100 acres total. Cerisa lespedeza, we ran into a couple cases this year on private lands, so I did an estimate of 24 acres total. Just there's probably more out there. Federal land side of it, roughly an estimated 100 acres of musk thistle. Bindweed is 80 acres. Johnson grass, 30 acres. Then we go into the weed control priorities and enforcements. For the musk thistles, we've been spraying a rate of 10 ounce an acre of picloram, which is your Tordon 22K, for spring and fall applications. We cannot spray that in the same area because you can only use a 16 ounce rate per acre per year. Bindweed, we're going to continue to sell up to 5 gallons of glyphosate per person per day for producers who use it. That way the glyphosate is going on actually infested areas, actually infested with bindweed. Johnson grass right now is not a major problem in Saline County. There is quite a bit of areas that do have it. The areas are somewhat sensitive areas. They're around crops that we don't have a lot of chemicals that we can spray around. Glyphosate's one of the main ones we use, and then we come in with plateau. Vegetation management side, on the brush control, we do work closely with Road and Bridge Department to further this control. We implemented iPads to show they've sent a couple locations as far as where they've cut trees down, and this coming fall we're going to go back and recheck and spray if we need to spray those. Common weed control, we continue using our spray trucks along county right-of-ways to control general and noxious weeds at the same time. Intersections, continue the planned site distance of 300 feet for traffic safety. It's less of a liability concern if there's more distance out there to where they can see. Chemical mowing, maintain chemical mowing along all paved roads. It does show a remarkable decrease in bindweed along roadsides. Mechanical mowing, the noxious weed department is working very closely with Road and Bridge to control plant growth via mowing for both safety and eye pleasuring of the roads. When we come in and spray the roadsides, we try to stunt the grass for them, stunt the weeds. That way they're not having to go out there as often, and they can take the time to maintain their roads. Bare ground program, we go around the signs and guardrails and shoot a distance around them to where we kill everything completely off right around that area. That way stuff's not growing up to where people can't see. On our outreach side, we work with county agents on preparing extension newsletters during the year. We utilize local newspaper radios to explain the noxious weeds. Meetings are arranged informational meetings with leaseholders. If somebody has an issue, they'll call us. We'll either go out to them on their ground, or they'll come into us and we'll talk to them about it. Demonstration plots, we'll work with K-State Biocontrol demonstration plot. Literature and information. We provide information and literature through mass mailings. Over 500 producers at least twice during the year. The mailings are to inform them of noxious weeds and treatment methods and control. Survey program, I have to do once a year we have to do surveys, which you'll have that on your desk here in the next 2 to 3 weeks. The survey is done 2 times a year throughout the year, once in May, once close to October. It gives us a good idea of control that has taken place of the noxious weeds. It is performed 2 separate times because of different crops that are out there. Data is collected and aerial photos are filled with data collections for information of further references. These surveys are used to check for increase or decrease in noxious weeds of certain areas. Facilities and our equipment. Our spray equipment is kept inside a locked area at the Expo Center. Our equipment includes a 1995 one-ton four-wheel drive truck with a Raven spray monitor, 400-gallon tank, and a boom buster roadside nozzle, a 2005 3/4-ton Dodge pickup with a 300-gallon slide-in sprayer. We use that mainly for Johnson grass. A 1999 International with a 2,600-gallon tank and boom buster nozzles on it for the right-of-way applications. A 2009 Kenworth with a 1,600-gallon tank equipped with boom buster nozzles for the right-of-way applications. And we have 2 2016 Kawasaki Mules, one with a 150-gallon tank and one with a 50-gallon tank, which is basically what we use to go through pastures to inspect. Our personnel side, we have 3 permanent employees. Me, the supervisor, 9A 6 certified. Jason Bell, he's a chemical applicator. He's 9A 6 certified. Beverly Monk, she's the administrative assistant. She's 9A certified. She's also the administrative assistant on the Expo Center side. Training and professional development. My staff and I will stay updated by fulfilling the requirements for our certified pest and pesticide license by attending district meetings, the annual conference, which we will attend the annual conference. That's next month in March. And meetings that are provided by chemical reps. We provide professional publications which are available to the entire staff for reference. Saline County has kept abreast of new products and practices which help to further and educate the public for noxious weed. Safety training is provided through the county on machinery and equipment. Our in-house spray equipment training and maintenance was started in 2002 and will be an ongoing yearly project. In 2016, all employees participated in a defensive driving course provided by K-Work. Also, certain employees were certified on forklift training that was presented by K-Work at the same time. Public relations, 1998, we made accessing the public a major priority. This included meeting people one-on-one at our office or at their farm or business. Like I was saying, if they have issues, they call and we either go to them or they'll go to us. That's pretty much all we have on that side, and then your
All right,
signatures.
David, thank you for the update. I would like to pass along Mr. Mantle's concerns there and ask you to respond to what that concern was. And if there are any public people who have concerns over the noxious weed department or their policies or whatever, that you contact David at the noxious weed department, which is at the Expo Center on Greeley Avenue. Are there further comments or questions from our commissioners?
One question, David. I was approached by a landowner who was concerned with noxious weeds in the ditches and such, impinging on his farm grounds. What is the logistics? How does that work? Does he come to your office and point out these concerns, and you look at these, or?
He can actually call. He can call in and best describe where they're at, or I can meet them out on site, and we can discuss them out there and go. Some of the noxious weeds, some of the areas in the county do not get treated every year. There's only 2 of us in the noxious weed department, so it is kind of hard to cover the whole county. But if we do have a major issue, I had one last year, and I spent about 2 weeks just on a 1-mile stretch.
I have another comment regarding city. That you do treat some of these weeds in the city also. Is that correct?
Yes and no. I mean, we leave it up to the city. The city does have a unit that goes out and sprays. I know when I first came into the weed department, we were spraying out South 9th. But the city hasn't come and asked for that in a couple of years, so if we have issues, there's a couple gentlemen in the city departments that we contact, and then they'll go take care of them.
Also, as an outdoorsman and a hunter and things like that, I can tell you that pheasants absolutely love Johnson grass. And in all my years, I didn't realize that Johnson grass was considered a noxious weed.
Yes, sir.
Well, don't spray them on my hunting ground.
The issues where we're having with Johnson grass, a lot of it, like if you go east on Old 40, there's a lot in the ditch out there, which as far as on our side, we really can't spray because there's alfalfa. Then we get into the point where there's beans. You know, we don't have chemicals that nobody can spray around that.
Okay. Further comments, questions? All right. That brings us to the end of our prepared agenda. Are there any announcements or new business that want to be discussed?
I'll go ahead and make the motion that we sign it, though. Because don't.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, go ahead.
Mr. Chair, I move that we authorize the chair to sign the 2019 Annual Noxious Weed Management Plan.
Second the motion.
It's been moved and seconded that we sign the 2019 Annual Noxious Weed Management Plan. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Announcement-wise, in case those of you that don't know or might not have heard about it, yesterday the road annexation lawsuit was brought to a conclusion between Saline County and the city of Salina, and an agreement was signed that details everything. So we're happy to have that behind us and moving forward and partnering with the city on other issues. So that having been said, we will have a further study session after a short break. So I would entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded that we adjourn. All those in favor say aye. Aye. We're adjourned.